Hey, what's going on? It's Chicago. No skip or any walk because obviously I am at work. Charles, hello. I saw Milam County has some flooding reported in Rockdale. I'm not sure if you're there right now, but keep me updated. Let me know what it's like where you are. I know a lot of people are saying, wow, we finally got some rain. I have, though, heard some disappointments from a few spots. Portions of like North Austin, Wells Branch area. Sorry, I'm trying to block this bright light. Um, Wells Branch, I heard there was some disappointment there. Laura, hello, Hanson. It has been a while. Hope you're doing great. Lake Buchanan reported 27 drops. Obviously, people being facetious, but yeah, the rain. Some areas are getting it, others are not. But either way, it is a blessing for those areas that have just been so devastated by drought. At least we're getting something. Lori Lee, good afternoon to you. Ron, checking in from Fayette County. Storm's not quite yet to you, but they're on the way. Let's see. Lori, you said Lakeline got rain for a minute. We'll take it. You'll notice right now as we take a look at radar, the area of biggest concern is actually look at all this lightning that's kind of congealing from southern Milam County near Rockdale, where a flood advisory has been issued, down toward areas like Lexington in Lee County. So that's right now where the heaviest activity is. Hi, Faith. Thanks for checking in. Hanson says cutting in and out. Sorry about that. Nothing I can do. I'm at the mercy of the work Wi-Fi. So unlike when I'm at home, this is basically based on the connection at work, and we'll see how it goes. And hopefully, it's not too terrible for you to be able to listen to. So yes, we are finally getting rain. Unfortunately, we did hit 100 earlier today. At least 100. I bet you that official high will be even hotter still than that. But the good news, the great news, in fact, is that we've broken our 51-day streak of no measurable rain in Austin. There was a big downpour that came right over Camp Mabry. I don't know exactly how much rain just yet, but I'm anxiously awaiting to find out what the official total was. Oh, Mary says no rain in Cedar Park. It's a shame. I'm sorry you were skipped. Meanwhile, I see Leander got lots of rain. Thank you for that report. Let's see, 290 in Cameron, rain pouring down. Charles says you had everything, east wind, west wind. Yeah, there were two boundaries that kind of converged right on Milam County that I was watching, and it was one of those situations where you're like, yep, there's going to be a lot of rain in that one spot. There was lightning. I don't know, Charles, if you had any reported hail or not, but I did see, at least at one point, in areas in southern Milam County, the potential of seeing perhaps some hail also into northern sections of Lee County. Right now, I'm checking just to see how much rain did Camp Mabry get. Oh, it hasn't registered just yet, but temperature in Austin at Camp Mabry dropped from 100 degrees to 81 degrees. Let me zoom in now just so you can see where the heaviest of the rain is. Right over Austin proper. Downtown getting heavy rain, thunderstorms from St. Ed's to Oak Hill to Bear Creek, right through downtown Austin and all across central Austin as well. That's going to be creeping its way slowly to the south and east. So what you'll be experiencing is, see this little green line here? That is the kind of the outflow boundary, the gust front out ahead of the storm. So you'll get a quick whoosh burst of wind initially, all of this heading southward. So folks in Kyle and Buda, you're next in line. Cedar Creek and Bastrop, you're about to get it. So this is going to be non-severe storms that are going to bring you pretty gusty winds, maybe 40-mile-per-hour gusts, and then some thunder and lightning and rain afterwards. But even heavier still is what's going on that Charles was experiencing in Milam County. We actually had two boundaries. There were storms that were over on this side that started to push westward, and then there were storms over here on this side that were pushing eastward, and they all kind of came together right over here, right over Milam and Lee counties. So eastern Wilco, portions of southern Milam County, and portions of northwest Lee County really getting the heaviest of the action. Another thing I want to point out to you, do you see these little thin lines? Here, this one right here is showing a little green circle, semicircle. That's the outflow boundary, the gust front, the gusty winds. Here's another one right in here. And so there have been evidence of some downburst winds. Lori says it's exciting. No hail. Thank you, Charles, for that report. Kim says 0 in Cedar Park. My goodness, you saw a lot of clouds, though. I'm sure it got much cooler, too. And you say the smell in the wind. I've heard people saying the smell of petrichor is so nice with all that lightning going on. In fact, I'm going to actually query this and see how many lightning strikes we have ongoing just with this cluster through portions of Milam County and Lee County alone. 478 lightning strikes. So even if it's not a severe storm, it is a strong storm. Turn around, or not turn around, but when thunder roars, head indoors. Vanessa, no rain in Bastrop. You may At this point, you're kind of like waiting for the stuff that's up here near Highway 290 in Elgin. You're going to have to wait on that to push southward. We may yet still see some rain out of this batch for Bastrop. Hanson saying crazy lightning thunder up in Georgetown as well. Florence, by the way, picked up almost an inch of rain. It's probably gotten even higher than that. Those of you in the hill country, not much going on in Mason, Llano. Burnett, you've got some rain, but it's not super heavy or anything like that. Those are the areas that, of course, need it the most, but the heaviest rain by far is what's going on through areas of Milam and Lee County and far northern sections of Bastrop County. So you can see that's where the heaviest rain currently is. That flood advisory is in effect until 4:30 p.m. for areas from Rockdale Point south and west. Reason being, take a look at some of these rainfall estimates from radar. 2.8 inches in areas just to the southern side of Milam County, 1.1 near Rockdale, 1.7 in far southern Milam. So a good smattering of 1 to 2 inch rainfall estimates. And there was a storm spotter that reported flooding on Highway 79 in Rockdale. So you definitely want to avoid that at all costs if you can. Mary's saying, will we get rain? Fingers crossed. If you don't this go around, there's another chance tomorrow. And then next week, our chances are looking up as well. So there will be multiple opportunities for rain if you don't get it this go around. All right, I'm refreshing my browser. Look at this, you guys. Camp Mabry reporting a thunderstorm, heavy rain, visibility down to 1.25 miles, winds gusting to 21 miles per hour, and so far, drumroll please, 0.01 inches of rain registered. I know it's not very much rain, but likely that was just the very beginning of catching that rainfall. So the streak is broken, 51 days, fifth longest, and we are done. Moving on to bigger and better things. Just keep in mind, though, with that flood advisory in place for Milam County, you want to be especially cautious. Any of these areas that are getting rain that haven't seen rain in a long time, it can be really dangerous. Slippery roadways, so make sure you leave plenty of distance. You know the rules, all that stuff, and of course, turn around, don't drown. There are some returns showing potential hail, but Charles was confirming for me that he didn't have any hail there in Milam earlier, so it may just be that the super heavy radar returns from rain are picking up extra high, what we call, in this case, we're looking at what's called vertically integrated liquid. So that's like super high moisture content within these. So it may not even be hail that's being indicated. It may just be super duper heavy rain. So there is that flood advisory in effect from until 4:30. So right now the time is 3:15. So Thorndale, Sandow, out toward Rockdale, all of you along Highway 79 and Highway 77 under a flood advisory because of that heavy rain that earlier pushed through. I'm going to widen out the view for you just to kind of give you the lay of the land and where we're standing with this cold front. Here's a look at the clouds and radar, and you can see that the heaviest of the rain is congealing right here across our northernmost communities and slowly sliding to the south. Here's the thing, though. I'm going to go ahead and plot the surface map, and this is going to show you the front. That cold front is literally creeping ever so slightly and is basically stalled right over us. So that's going to be the focus for the rain, at least for now. Now, what's going to happen tomorrow is that front is going to be nudging its way back to the north again. And so as a result, we're going to see additional chances of rain for tomorrow. So again, if you didn't get rain so far, still not done. Mary's like, please let it rain. I know so many lawns are saying, come on. Farmers, oh my goodness, there's so many reasons. The lakes, water supply, we just need it so badly. Bob says 1 3/4 in Sharpstone Trail in Meadows. Awesome. That is fantastic. That's a good amount of rain too. Hanson's has got to do the rain dance. Anything you can do to get this rain on in here. All right, so let's zoom in a little bit more. I do want to let you know, fortunately, so far we have not had any severe thunderstorm warnings issued. However, there have been a number of strong storms. That said, we are in a low-end Category 1 of 5 marginal risk of isolated storms turning severe, and the biggest risk with these is going to be potential for some wind damage. Danny Smith, hello to you. All right, so the damaging wind outlook is across our entire area with the exception of southwest Gillespie County. But we're talking the possibility maybe of some power outages. I did see that PEC was mentioning, Pedernales Electric Company Cooperative was saying that they had some outages up in Florence and Northwest Wilco. So there could be some sporadic power outages because of the fact that so many trees that are being impacted by the drought are weak and the soil is very dry. It won't probably take too much wind to cause some tree limbs and tree branches and that kind of thing. So could be some damage in that regard, mainly along the leading edge of these storms. So now pushing off toward the south and to the east. So that's that damaging wind outlook. And then also we're keeping tabs on those pockets of heavy rain, which could lead to some flood potential. So the flood risk for our entire area continues to be kind of in that low range for all of our area. And I'm not sure why it's not plotting in a bright and bold green color, but just trust me on this. You may be able to see at least the signs of the green surrounding all of our area. It's there, it really is, I promise. So anyway, the flood risk is also going to be with us. Next thing, what is to come? So here's going to be an hour by hour look at future radar. Natalie says always at elementary dismissal, yes, I bet you anything that some of the schools had to resort to their lightning protocol where they'll keep the kids inside the school as opposed to waiting outside for the bus. And then the dismissal takes a little bit longer, especially for the car riders and that kind of thing. But it's all in the interest of keeping kids safe. So yeah, the timing for some could be better, that is for sure. So this is a high-res computer model, and it's suggesting that there's still going to be potentially some heavy rain through the next hour or so. Based on what we're seeing right now, I think that this might even be maybe slightly farther south by the time we reach 4:30, but you get the idea. Northwest Hill Country should be mainly quiet by 4:30, and most of the storm activity will start to be pushing south of 290 by then, in my opinion. As we head towards 6 o'clock or so, mainly areas west of Highway 281 in the Hill Country should be pretty quiet. Maybe a few leftover storms through the I-35 corridor, but the heaviest by that time is likely to be for areas off toward the east, including Bastrop and Giddings, and perhaps heading into Fayette County as well. Let's see. The National Weather Service continuing with this theme of saying strong thunderstorms could cause some gusty winds around 40 miles per hour. There may be some heavy downpours enough to cause some minor flooding. Let's see, Natalie says, yep, your school did the lightning protocol today. It's good. I mean, these kiddos need to be safe no matter what it takes. Charles says 2.5 inches in Rockdale. My goodness, well, that explains why there's the flooding situation there with that flood advisory in place. Let's go ahead and fast forward to around 7 o'clock. And by 7, this is pretty much going to be a waning system as opposed to a raining system. It will be waning in intensity, and that front will kind of be stalling out, and it doesn't look like there's going to be that much action going on as we head into the latter part of the evening. So there we go, all the way to around 9:30 or so, where we're generally going to be in somewhat of a break. So what's next? That front may be stalled somewhere in our southern areas. I'm going to say maybe it's going to stall near I-10 or maybe even as far south as San Antonio. So as we look ahead to Friday, that same boundary is going to lift back to the north. So initially, it may be relatively quiet to start off Friday. However, we could see renewed showers and storms. So, moral of the story is, if you miss out today, you may luck out tomorrow. Here's a look just at that high-res computer model of future rainfall totals through 8 a.m. on Friday, so through tomorrow morning. And this is not taking into account the rain that we've already seen, but this is looking at future rainfall. So there could still be some pockets of pretty substantial rain yet to come. And again, the ongoing heavy rain that's currently across places like Milam County as well. And you can't help but talk about temperatures too. I'm going to plot on here. Oh, let me also show you the peak wind gusts. Let me do that too. Because earlier there was a wind gust of about 30 miles per hour in Austin. I want to see if there were any higher peak wind gusts. 39 mile per hour gusts in Georgetown, so that's notable. Hearn, a 30 mile per hour gust, 35 mile per hour gust in Taylor. In order to be considered severe, it's got to be 58 miles per hour or greater. So we're not talking severe wind gusts, but certainly noticeable wind gusts, and we may not be totally done with that threat just yet. Now let me pull up the temperatures for you. Scroll up a little bit. I know those temperatures are hiding out here somewhere. By the way, the new Drought Monitor came out today earlier, and I have a hunch that it's going to just be amazing, the difference week to week come next week with what we see as far as the improvement in the drought, especially those areas that have had quite a bit. David reporting power out in Barton Springs. No bueno there. Sorry to hear that. Here's a look, by the way, of the rain coming down from our Hilton cam in downtown Austin. Let me go ahead and show you a few more cameras just so we can kind of pop up some views for you to check out across the Austin area. This is from our Chase Bank camera looking at the Frost Bank Tower. Of course, you can see the rain coming down, especially as you look toward the areas right in here off toward the south, or off to the left-hand corner. You can see that rain coming down. All right, let's go and check another couple of camera shots. Howdy Honda. Let's see if that's going to be up. And there you go, Howdy Honda camera. Little bit of rain coming down there. And now let's look at Lake Travis. The lakes obviously need that rain so desperately. So here's the view at Lake Travis. Hard to tell if it's actually coming down heavily or steadily, but at the very least it is gray and it is certainly on the dark side. And finally, let's head down to San Marcos. I don't believe that you've seen much yet, but you can certainly see the clouds in the distance. This is the vantage point looking at I-35 right near the outlet malls in San Marcos. So I'm going to go ahead and take it back to our Hilton cam, where we could see that rain coming on down as it was pushing through the area, and 81 degrees. Talk about a change. All right, let me scroll down. I'll find you some temperatures, and then I'll show you radar one more time, and then I'm going to call it after that, especially given the fact that we don't have any current warnings in place, just because I've still got to do some work before we go on the news tonight at 5 o'clock. All right, so look at this change. Isn't this crazy? It is 74 degrees right now in Georgetown, but it's 101 in Wimberley. Talk about a change. So you can more or less kind of, I'm going to plot it right here, you can more or less draw a front right across our area, and that is the front, that is the storm activity that is pushing through. So yes, we did have our 67th day of triple-digit heat today earlier, but now it feels a whole lot better. Kathy says not much rain at Lake Travis. Where? I'm sorry to hear that. You say it has already stopped. Andy says extremely light rain in Belterra, so heading out toward Dripping Springs from the Oak Hill area. Not a lot of rain. Yeah, it looks like there's a little bit of a gap there in that part of Western Travis into northern Hayes County there. Let's see, that was inches of rain. Oh. All right, so let's also take a look at Lcra reports of rainfall. I will pull up the 24-hour rainfall reports just to see if there's anyone that's really doing well. And as you can see, not everyone's getting a ton of rain, but it does look like Florence up in Wilco saw 0.97 inches of rain, which is awesome. As mentioned earlier, Rockdale has seen some copious amounts of rain, prompting that flood advisory that's in effect until 4:30. I'll go ahead and query right near Highway 79, where apparently cars were having a time of it. 3.2 inches is what radar is currently indicating. Hanson's talking about Georgetown getting some more rain again. Clearly areas on the east side of Travis County, places like Pflugerville and Weberville and out toward the airport, are probably saying, wait, what about me? I got totally skipped. Likewise for areas in parts of northwest Austin, you didn't get much. And I did hear those reports from Cedar Park saying, what? It skipped us too. So Leander got rain, Liberty Hill got rain, Florence got rain, Georgetown, Round Rock, but other areas not so much. And unfortunately, it doesn't look like Lake Travis got a lot, just from the standpoint of looking at the Lcra rainfall reports. Maybe a few spots along Lake Travis picking up about 1/4 of an inch thus far, which is not great, but at least the dry streak is officially broken. Gerald reporting some rain off of 969 and 183. Thank you so much for that report. So yeah, I mean, the good news is so far we're not seeing anything turn severe. We are monitoring flood potential in Milam County, and we're seeing a whole lot of dangerous lightning pushing through the areas from Milam County down through Lee County, now into Bastrop County as well. So that's going to be the biggest concern. Anything that's west in the hill country is pretty light and not a big deal. And there's also starting to be a little bit of a pickup in the action that's happening over central Austin and down into southern sections of Travis County, heading toward northern sections of Hays County. So from South Austin all the way down I-35, Cedar Valley area, you're starting to see that rain kind of picking up as well as everything drifts off toward the south. Woo, Rod, 60s in Chrisman. Hello, hello. Okay, let me take you to Chrisman just so you can see. It is just on the other side of Milam County, right here. I'm going to circle it. 62 degrees, my goodness. That must, like, I don't even know what that must feel like. That's crazy. And obviously from Rockdale down towards Sandown near Tanglewood and into Lee County near Thorndale. That's where the rain is coming down heavy. Bocas, Blue, McDade. So even working its way toward Lincoln and not too far away from Giddings, you're really getting in on heavy rain in Page and Bastrop County. Also near Bisher State Park, which, by the way, that's where that Pine Pond fire near the Lukey farm has been slowly but surely getting under containment. This is exactly what the doctor ordered as far as that's concerned. Those of you in Weberville, there you go, getting some rain finally near Wolf Dancer Golf Club, approaching the Bastrop area. There are some storms. I hope they don't split between you. In Elgin, you've got some heavier rain there. Still very quiet for the Maynard area, but some of those storms are starting to develop a little bit farther north. So maybe you'll luck out after all. And you can see Round Rock is currently getting into a little bit of a lull. And then behind this, it's going to be more of a general light rainfall as opposed to anything super heavy and steady. So anything additional won't probably add up too much as far as being super impressive or that kind of thing. All right, that's it. You guys are all caught up. Let's cross our fingers and hope we don't have anything additional that turns bad. You already know the flooding potential is highest in Milam and Lee County. Wouldn't shock me if a flood advisory is hoisted for parts of Lee County, maybe eastern Bastrop County as well, given the amount of rain that's falling there. Aaron asking, is the rain going to help with lake levels? Well, unfortunately, there wasn't much rain that fell in any of the areas that feed into Lake Travis or our Highland Lake system. Lake Buchanan didn't get much rain. Pedernales didn't get much rain. Lake Travis didn't get much rain. So at this stage, none of the areas that would benefit our lake system got a ton of rain. That said, I think San Saba did pretty well, and that may flow from San Saba and Colorado Bend State Park. That does actually flow into the northern reaches of Lake Buchanan and then flow down from the headwaters of the Colorado River. So that might trickle down and give some benefits. So that'll be something definitely worth keeping an eye on. Linda says Cuernavaca is getting some rain. Thank you so much. And Hanson says your chicken's loving the rain too. I think a lot of people are probably loving this rain. And Aaron asking about any more rain tonight. Only minimal rain. Once this heaviest burst comes through, the majority of computer models are not terribly excited about anything additional. So really what we're dealing with now is going to be the lion's share and just lower chances through the evening and nighttime. And then tomorrow we're going to have to watch for resurgence as that front lifts back north and brings us some rain chances. Right now I'm thinking Saturday's probably going to be a mainly dry day. Oh, Kimberly says nothing in Lockhart yet, but you still have time. Let's go down to Caldwell County. I'll show you that boundary. That little green line isn't quite to you in Lockhart just yet. So probably within the next 20 minutes, that green line, that's the wind. That wind gust is going to hit you in Lockhart, and then behind it, if this activity that's moving through southern sections of Travis County holds together, then that could reach you in Lockhart. Give it about another hour or so. All right. If you have any other questions, you can always hop on our website, check out cbsaustin.com. You can download our interactive or our CBS Austin weather app, and you can also check out our interactive radar. Basically, as long as you stay weather aware, it looks like this is not going to be a huge deal in terms of severe weather threat. Just be responsible if you do come across water across the road, and also take care as far as the lightning dangers as well. I hope to see you guys at 5 o'clock on CBS Austin News. And in the meantime, celebrate this rain. It's pretty awesome. And the cooler weather, too. All right, take care, you guys.